So, obviously, couple of I think a week ago, obviously Diego Jota and Andre Silva sadly passed away. Liverpool announced they will retire the number 20 shirt, the number 20 across all levels of the club owner. When they say across all the levels of the club, they mean not only men's team, the women's team, the under 16s, 17s, 18s, in honor of Diego Jota. And that's such a sensible thing from Liverpool. Um, the fact not only they do it in the men's team, they also do it across all the levels of the club. I mean, it says a lot about Liverpool as a club, because Liverpool as a club, as a city, obviously they've won lots of trophies, they've had great history, but as a club, in terms of integrity, in terms of dignity, they really have class. They really are a respectful club. They are they're a proper club. They're passionate. That's why lots of people love Liverpool, because not only the trophies they win, but also the fans are passionate. The club is passionate. The club is when you play for Liverpool, when you manage Liverpool, it's like being a family member there. And yeah, and it's so I thought like the way Liverpool handled this as a club, absolutely incredible to see. Handled with class, with dignity, with respect, with with um, I don't have much what to say, but they handled it amazingly well. They handled it incredibly well, and I'm grateful to see a club like Liverpool handle the way they did it. And I said it after the news that if there's a club that can handle these kind of situations, it's Liverpool. It's a club that can bring people together, and yes, this kind of news can affect Liverpool and affect everybody, affect every Liverpool fans, including me, every football fan, and every Liverpool fan, and every football fan, including me. But it can also bring more soul into the club, and more soul into all the football fans. And that's why Liverpool have been, like I said, they've been situations before with the tragedy in 1989. Um, in when they won the Premier League in 20, when they had the parade and some stupid guy killed a couple of people for driving the car to the back of them. There's a club who can bring more people together, who can handle the situations really well. It's Liverpool, and unfortunate for Liverpool is that they have had to deal with this kind of situations too many times, which is not great to see at all. Because for a club like Liverpool, um, to have had this kind of situations too many times faced against them, it's hard, and it's really sad. Um, but I'm really amazed, and I'm so happy. I don't support Liverpool, as I said, but I'm really incredibly happy with how Liverpool have dealt with this. Um, not only how Liverpool dealt with this, also Portugal, how well they dealt with this was is incredible. So incredibly, incredibly grateful, incredibly, um, pleased to see how well Liverpool have conducted themselves. Um, Newcastle signed Anthony Elanga from Nottingham Forest, sorry, for 55 million. Actually, I said it in the last episode that Newcastle have been struggling to sign some players, particularly last two summer transfer windows, this one and last one. But they finally got them the one, which is Anthony Elanga. I mean, Anthony Elanga had a good season for Nottingham Forest, along with other key players who were key to the success of Nottingham Forest, like Chris Wood, Morello, Sales, the goalkeeper. He had a good season. But is he really what? Is he gonna take Newcastle to the next level? I'm not sure, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Sporting Lisbon president released a explosive statement on Gyökeres case. Gyökeres, obviously, he's been very clear that he wants to go to Arsenal. He wants to leave Sporting Lisbon as much as he can. He didn't show up in pre-season for Sporting Lisbon yesterday, and Federico Varandas, who's the Sporting Lisbon president on Arsenal negotiation, he said if they don't want to pay for Victor's fair market value, well, here at Sporting Lisbon we are very comfortable with that for the next 3 years with Gyökeres staying. This strategy is also making it more complicated for the player to leave because there's nobody here is above the interests of the club. So he's saying like nobody's bigger than the club, which is completely right from him. Whoever they are, we are very calm. Everything will be resolved with the market closing with a hefty fine and apology to the group. I mean, this Gyökeres thing is, I wouldn't say it's getting boring, but it's just like it's it's spending too much time. It's been like it has starting to taking a bit of a toll on Sporting Lisbon and Arsenal fans. You know, the Gyökeres thing. But like I agree with the president of Sporting Lisbon that that's why I mentioned like why Arsenal stalling for 5 million if they want and they don't want to pay for Victor's fair market value. A player like Gyökeres, he deserves to be signed for a high value. He was a quality player, scored great goals. This season for Sporting Lisbon last season has been absolutely amazing. Probably one of the strikers that most European clubs look out for. So, Arsenal are choosing to stall out for 5 million for a guy that they really need and the position they really need, and instead they sign for a player that they don't really need, who's Nuno Madueke for 50 million. I mean, the crazy thing is that Chelsea wanted 50 million for Nuno Madueke. Arsenal spent 52 million. I mean, Arsenal they've been so confusing this transfer window. They've been so confusing, and honestly, I don't know what to say, honestly, but yeah, like Arsenal have stop this stupid thing that they're doing and get the deal done. Get the deal done. Sign him as quickly as you can. Get him before the start of preseason instead of haggling and waiting and stalling and do you spend 5 million, 10 million? Just shut up, man, and spend the money. Spend the damn money and move on. But instead, Arsenal are waiting for no reason. But yeah. Now let's move on to the Club World Cup final. A preview, because obviously it's a huge game. Chelsea versus PSG. Chelsea obviously has been a 25 has been I would say decent year for Chelsea. Qualifying for Champions League, winning the Conference League, getting to the Club World Cup final, and they've had a good year. They've made some good signings in attackers like João Pedro and Liam Delap, but I still think, like I said, I've said it before, I'll say again, if they want to challenge for the title, they need a good goalkeeper and they need a good defense, because they still have problems because Sanchez is not going to take them to the next level, and they need and defensively they struggle a bit. They defended quite well against Palmeiras, against Fluminense, but at the same time, I still think like they still have some deficiencies that they need to try to fix. And one game doesn't solve all the problems. And Chelsea are a good side. They can play good football. Going forward, they're very good. So I think Chelsea can cause problems for PSG defensively, even though PSG defensively they're also fantastically good. However, PSG's attack against Chelsea's defense, I worry for Chelsea. I I mean, and can you imagine? I mean, you saw the way Ousmane Dembele was pressing Sanchez. Thibaut Courtois against Real Madrid, and the guy was constantly pressing, and he made Courtois' life very hard, as he mentioned in the interview. Courtois. Imagine if he presses Sanchez. Oh my god. No disrespect, but like Chelsea. Let's be honest. It's a final. Anything can happen. Strange things can happen. Chelsea, they are the underdogs for this game, and when they are underdogs for this kind of finals, they like it. You know, they were the underdogs against City years ago in the Champions League final. They won it. They were underdogs against Bayern Munich in 2012, and in Zerion, and Chelsea won. So Chelsea like sometimes they like to be in this kind of situations, like to be the underdog. But at the same time, if PSG turn up and PSG play at their best, Chelsea better pray that it's not more than 3-0. And I'm not exaggerating, because like Chelsea, like going forward, they can do well. They still have some problems, because like you saw the Nicholas Jackson in the Fluminense game where Cole Palmer was shouting and for not passing, and they still have they're not perfect going forward, but they look good. They've got good players who can score goals for them. But at the same time, they need a quality defender and centre back, and going forward they can cause problems for PSG. They can, PSG also defensively they're very good, but at times they could also defensively not be so perfect. Like for example, they could see 3 goals against Aston Villa in the Champions League. Sometimes defensively they can be caught, even though they're very good mostly. But PSG's attack against Chelsea's defense, oh my god. But yeah, like listen, in the final anything can happen. Strange things can happen. It's football. Anything can happen. That's why we love football. That some things that are unexpected may happen. But if PSG turn up, if they play at their best, if they play the way they play against Real Madrid, Chelsea have absolutely no chance. No chance. If PSG don't turn up, PSG could still win with the quality they have. But Chelsea, they have a chance. They have a better chance. That's for sure. And obviously PSG, obviously the football they're playing is absolutely brilliant to watch. They've been destroying like many European teams. Like they won 5-0 against Inter, 4-0 against Real Madrid, 2-0 against Bayern, 4-0 against Atletico Madrid. They beat Liverpool, even though it was on pens. They've been they won 5-0 against Inter. They've destroyed, they've been destroying everybody. The only team that you could say that they were a bit lucky not to play against was Barcelona in the Champions League final. But Arejo screwed it up, or he ruined a final between Lamine Yamal and watching those great players in the final instead of watching Inter, man, bloody hell. But yeah, PSG, like the football they're playing is amazing, and they're going forward. They're absolutely brilliant to watch. They played like Dembele, Desire Doué, Kvaratskhelia. There's brilliant footballs, and they've got great midfield. Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz, the absolute ballers. Defensively, they look better. Also, Nuno Mendes, brilliant fullback. Hakimi, I mean, absolutely brilliant. I think he deserves the Ballon d'Or in my opinion. He will not get it because Ousmane Dembele is also another contender and is France football, so of course they will give it to a French player. Listen, I'm not saying Dembele doesn't deserve it. He also deserves it, but in my opinion, I think Hakimi deserves it more. And Nuno Mendes, Nuno Mendes and Hakimi deserves it more than Dembele, but they will never give a Ballon d'Or to a fullback, never. But Nuno Mendes, Hakimi, they've been brilliant as well. Donnarumma, quality goalkeeper. And like I said, if PSG play at their best, they should absolutely wipe the floor and absolutely destroy and humiliate Chelsea. If not, then there's a chance for Chelsea. My prediction, I'm going for a 3-1 win for Paris Saint-Germain. That's it, guys. Thank you. I wish you have a nice day. See you tomorrow most likely, and or tomorrow on Tuesday, and have a nice day. Goodbye.